You ever have someone break you so deeply, so casually, that something inside you changes forever? Because the day I found out my boyfriend cheated and lied straight to my face about it, I felt something snap. And instead of leaving, I decided to stay for 8 months, and I made it my mission to ruin his life so quietly, so completely, that by the time I walked out, he wouldn't even realize when he lost everything. If you've ever tasted betrayal, if you've ever stared at someone you loved and wondered how they could hurt you like that, hit that like button and subscribe, because today's story is one of the most emotionally satisfying revenge arcs you will ever hear. Let's begin. I always thought heartbreak would come like a sudden explosion, loud, messy, dramatic. But for me, it came quietly, like a blade slipping between ribs. It started with a message request. A girl I didn't know. A name my stomach instantly hated. She sent screenshots, pictures, dates, receipts. Him, laughing, flirting, touching someone else like she meant something. My hands went numb. It felt like electricity and ice were fighting under my skin. My heartbeat wasn't pounding. It was shaking. I remember staring at our bedroom wall thinking, there's no way. Not him. Not after everything. So I asked him. Calm. Controlled. I wanted him to tell the truth. I needed it. But he looked me in the eyes. Smiled the way he always did when he was trying to charm me. And he lied. He lied so easily it made me sick.
Babe, she's crazy. Are you seriously believing some random girl?
That was the moment I knew. He wasn't sorry. He wasn't guilty, and he just didn't think I'd ever leave. In his mind, I was already owned. And that was when the pain turned into something else. Something colder, sharper, deliberate. I wasn't going to leave, not yet. I was going to stay long enough to take back every piece of myself he ever took for granted. Every ounce of dignity he thought he stole. Every tear he didn't care about. I was going to make him pay. Slowly. I worked out the numbers. 8 months. 8 months to save for a deposit, furniture, and enough emergency cash to disappear in one clean move. 8 months of pretending. 8 months of smiling. 8 months of revenge. Drip by drip. Day by day. Until he wouldn't know which way was up. And the best part? He begged me to stay. He thought winning me back meant he won. He had no idea he had already lost. The first time I hid something of his, it was small, his car keys. He tore the living room apart, searching while I sat on the couch calmly sipping tea. His frustration? Delicious, then. I escalated. Cancelled appointments, dentist, barber, job interviews he thought he'd forgotten about. I'd nod and say, "Oh, baby, maybe you should get better at organising." I opened parcels before he got home. Sometimes I stole cash from his wallet, not a lot, just enough to confuse him. I dipped his toothbrush in the toilet bowl. Not enough to make him sick. Just enough that I knew. It wasn't about hurting him physically. It was about eroding the foundation of his confidence. Cracking the parts of him he prided himself on. This part was satisfying in a way I didn't expect. He loved being the victim, loved being the savior, loved being needed. So I weaponized it. Before major events, big commitments, weddings, meetups, I'd start to cry. Not hysterically, soft. Broken, like I was reliving the betrayal. He once missed half his best friend's wedding consoling me in the parking lot. He held me close, whispering,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
and I would look at him and think, good, you should be. I'd forget his birthday, pick TV shows he hated, make dinners he couldn't stand, tell his parents he cheated, watching their disappointment cut him in ways I never could. I refused to pay for things, forgot to wash his work uniform, or left it wet in the washer so he'd scramble in the morning. And the pièce de résistance? I chipped away at his self-esteem, slowly, soft jabs disguised as concern. Are you okay? You've seemed really off lately. Maybe you're just not performing well because you're tired. Do you think you're overwhelmed? Soon he was doubting himself, his memory, his energy, his ability to handle life. He started apologizing for things he didn't even do. He walked on eggshells. He second-guessed himself constantly. And all the while, I smiled, supportive, loving, patient, letting him crumble by his own confusion. By month 6, his friends started noticing, which made it the perfect time to become just a little too friendly with them. Not enough to cross lines, just enough for him to feel insecure. To feel that sick twist in his stomach I felt the day I saw those receipts. By month 7, he was exhausted all the time, anxious, scattered. He couldn't understand why everything felt like it was slipping. He kept saying,
I feel like I'm losing control of my life.
and I would rub his back and whisper, I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere. And that was the truth. Until the day I was. The move was planned to perfection. I waited until a day I knew he'd be working a long shift. He kissed me goodbye that morning. Eyes tired, voice soft.
Love you.
He said. And hearing it didn't hurt anymore. It didn't mean anything, because I was already gone. I packed everything. Every box, every keepsake, every reminder of me. He had no idea I had been saving money behind his back. No idea I had signed a lease. No idea I had coordinated movers. No idea that when he came home, I would be a ghost. When I locked the door behind me for the last time, I felt the weight lift off my chest for the first time in almost a year. Not joy, not triumph, just release. He called me that night, 23 times. Then he texted. Paragraphs and apologies. Panic. I didn't respond. Not then, not ever again. I had taken back everything he took from me, piece by piece, and now I was free. Some people say revenge is poison, but sometimes it's medicine. Not to hurt them, but to heal the parts of yourself they damaged. And walking away that final day was the first time I felt whole again. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Comment below. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen?